Hello and welcome to the Timberpad video series. This is video 1, layout and overview of Timberpad iOS. It's going to be a general video. We're going to go into more detail on subsequent videos. The overview of Timberpad is that it's a data collection software that works on your iPad, iPad mini, or iPhone. It would be set up after setting up FileMaker Go, which is a free download from the App Store. You can download anything from FileMaker Go 12 to 16. Version 15 and 16 are most commonly used. They've both come out within the last 2 years. Again, they're free from the App Store. You download and install FileMaker Go onto your device, and then we would email you Timberpad and it would install right into FileMaker. So it would be a nice functioning setup on your device. It's a single file. It's a very quick install of Timberpad. So that is the overview of Timberpad. The layout is a 3-tabbed form. The program will allow you to put your general project information at the top, your project name, your cruiser initials, the standard strata that you're working in, the acreage of that standard strata. The middle section allows you to create plots with GPS coordinates. You can add your own plot numbers if you want with a facility we call manual plot entry via this popover button. Auto plot mode is the standard where it just auto increments, so you would have plot 1, plot 2, plot 3. Every time you add a plot, it just increments onto the highest plot number in the data set. That's not always appropriate. You may want to enter your own plot numbers, and you can do that with the manual plot. You would just keep that checkbox checked, and each time you would have to enter a plot number. So this is stocking information, absence or presence of invasives via a checkbox, a plot comment, whatever you would want to use there, perhaps some boundary line information, presence of beavers, water, exceptional good quality soils, whatever you think is appropriate for your plot. In this situation, we're using it to note that not only do we have invasives, but we were in the presence of barberry. The stocking drop down can be used as an indication of the presence of the invasives, or more commonly the overstory of the merchantable timber. So you may have a poorly stocked stand with barberry, and that would be how you would set that up. Or let's say an overstocked stand that was adjacent to the railroad. That's how the plot comment in this section works. The rose-colored labels are not for entry, they are just read-only situations. If you create GPS coordinates by using the plot plus GPS button, your coordinates will show up: X coordinate, Y coordinate, and then the plus or minus, the precision estimate in meters down here. Keep in mind there are 3 different ways of getting GPS information from assisted GPS systems, such as are on your iPad and iPhones. And that would be satellite information if you're outside, or Wi-Fi or cellular information. That's why it's called assisted GPS. The 2 different modes for basic tallying trees in Timberpad are multi-product mode, where you're tallying 8-foot sections up the bowl of the tree, and on the tally tab it would look like this with a product field, which would then be seen in your data table here with all your different products that you've listed on past trees. If you were in saw pulp mode, that means you're just calling a saw height and a pulp height. Let's say we're on tree 1-1. Let's look at that. We're right here doing this tree 1-1. So if we wanted to make this say 25 feet of saw height, and then above it we had an equal amount of pulpwood, that would be our 8-inch white pine. I guess it's probably be better if that was 12 inches. That'd make a little more sense, with 25 feet of saw height and 50 feet of overall pulpwood. So that would mean that a 1 foot stump and 49 feet of merchantable bowl. So that's the difference between saw pulp mode and multi-product mode. The tally tab, again, you can see we're spending our time here actually tallying the trees. This is where you're going to do most of your work. All of your trees are available to be seen in the table, not just for the plot you're on, but for all plots. So you might have 200 trees, you might have 500 trees collected over several days worth of cruising that would be in this scrollable table. It's very handy, allows you to see what you've done, scroll through them. If you want to jump to a particular tree, you can just click this button. So that's the tally tab. We're going to go into each button's idiosyncrasies on the next video. This is the manual plot as we mentioned earlier. This is a tree duplicator setting button. So there's some interesting stuff here. Horizontal limiting distance, and we'll cover that in future videos. The Tools tab is where you can perform certain specific functions that are helpful when timber cruising, such as creating a limiting distance estimate based on the diameter of the tree, the slope percent. Now you notice this 12 inch, this was the tree we just entered. So the last tree you enter, the last DBH is what gets populated here. So you're not entering things twice. If you want to enter your slope, you could put that in here. If you had a, say, a 28% slope, then our distance is 27.98 feet, the horizontal limiting distance with a BAF 15. You would probably set this BAF at the beginning of your cruise. Make sure that it's set appropriately for what you're doing, what prism size you're using. So that's the limiting distance tool. Other tools here are related to exporting your data, which is in instant email, auto email functionality that you can use with this tool. If you want to export and email your tall timber ready data set, in other words, part of the data set you've collected, tall timber doesn't need to know that you had barberry. It's not going to use that to estimate your inventory volumes. So this is just the tall timber required data that would be emailed off with this button. So we have different functionality in these buttons. They're very helpful. Help you check your data, import it, export it, get your products information. We'll cover these in more detail in subsequent videos. And we also have this running tally, which allows us to click a button and see what we have for number of plots, number of trees, zero tally plots, what our square feet and trees per acre is. And with this information, it's pretty easy to come up with course level volume estimates and a sense of where you're at in your cruise. So that's the Tools tab, the Tally tab, and the Setup tab. Please stick around for our future videos. We're going to go into this in more detail and work through a data set, show you some of these neat little functions and how they help you cruise faster and cheaper. Thanks for watching.